the plan is to go deep on this one because I feel the burners need to know.
Gotta know.
They got to know about this. This is the best product in the shop. Let's go deep. Hey burners, if you've been watching my videos for years and years, you'd know my favorite supplement in the world is glutamine until this product came along. It is definitely my #1 supplement in the entire world, LIV by TheAgeHack. Now, why is this product so amazing? It's using cutting edge science from renowned Harvard scientist, Dr. David Sinclair, to make a product that doesn't just stop aging, but can reverse aging and the damage associated with aging. How does it work? Well, it contains key ingredients, NMN and NR, otherwise known as nicotinamide mononucleotide or nicotinamide riboside. Now, these ingredients are precursors to the hero ingredient in our bloodstream, NAD+, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So you might say, well, why don't we take that? The molecule's too big to ingest orally, so you actually need the precursors because they are well absorbed, that'll turn into NAD. So hopefully that answers that question. So a lot of people go, all right, let's just go NMN and NR and we're done with it. The issue with that is NMN and NR, which make NAD, which will then fuel an enzyme, require that enzyme to be switched on first. Now, if the enzyme's not switched on, like keys in a car, you can give that car all the fuel you want, it's not going anywhere. So this guy has solved that problem by putting an ingredient in there, trans resveratrol, the best form of absorbable trans resveratrol that you can get, which will actually switch on the enzyme called a sirtuin, having it ready for the fuel. NR and NMN included in here then create NAD in the bloodstream, which then fuels this enzyme. What does this enzyme do? It repairs DNA. A lot of people don't know what DNA does, they know what it looks like. Picture it like a storage of information. You've got your double helix with the chromosomes in between. That is a storage of data. Every time a cell reproduces, and it can produce 50 to 70 times before it dies, that telomere, or the end of the DNA, is deleted. So what happens is the DNA folds over onto itself, moves into the new cell, that DNA folds over itself, moves onto the new cell, so on and so forth. And every time that process happens, the telomere gets deleted, making that DNA shorter and shorter, storing less and less data. Now, the DNA, let's say a skin cell on the eye has a certain DNA strand and it tells that skin cell to be a skin cell on the eye and not a kidney cell or a liver cell or a heart cell, etc. So what happens is it's got enough data when we're born, and over time, the data in the cell, as that cell reproduces, gets less and less, and eventually that cell doesn't know how to synthesize and absorb and create as much elastin and collagen as it needs, and it starts to wrinkle. And that explains the outside. But that is also occurring on the inside. There are only 3 ways the human dies: disease, accident, and DNA shortening, which will lead to all the diseases in the body like kidney failure, heart failure, atherosclerosis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, because the cells don't know how to be like when they were nice and young and didn't exhibit those disease properties. If we can, in essence, grow that DNA, we can restore the old function of the cell, restoring it to how it used to be when we were younger. Now, this process requires a lot of methyl groups. So what happens is you might take resveratrol, NMN, feel great, repair the DNA for a period of a month, burn through all your methyl groups, which are also required in heaps of other bodily processes, and then there's no methyl groups left for those bodily processes or DNA restoration. At that point, instead of feeling energized, sleeping better, etc., you might feel tired, irritable, not sleeping well. So this guy answers that issue and puts in trimethylglycine, 3 methyl bonds with a very well absorbed and tolerated ingredient that the body grabs and restores a lot of methyl groups. It's perfectly ratioed to the amount of NMN and NR in here to keep donating those methyl groups that are burnt as that DNA restoration process occurs, completing the circuit. We can activate the enzyme, the sirtuin enzyme, with the trans resveratrol. We fuel it with the NR and NMN in here that creates the NAD for that fuel, and we can keep that DNA restoration process going with the methyl donors in here as well. It's a complete product. Now, often when people take this, they might say, oh, well, I look younger in 2 months. And DNA doesn't work like that. It's going to take years to reverse the aging process on the outside. However, these guys are really smart and they include an ingredient in there called Verisol. It's a special collagen that has a reaction in the body different to other collagens. Now, clinical trials with 114 females over a period of 8 weeks showed on a double-blind placebo study a reduction in face wrinkles by 20.1%. So when people turn around and ask, oh, well, I see an improvement or an anti-aging effect quickly, the Verisol in here will lead to that. Now, they've looked after the visuals quickly. They've looked after the long-term DNA repair and disease prevention. Finally, they put in there an ingredient called PQQ. Now, the other side of aging is mitochondrial death. So by the time we're 40% of all the mitochondria of our cells are either dead or dormant. By the age of 90, 90% of those mitochondria are dead or dormant. PQQ will reignite dormant mitochondria, will rebirth dead mitochondria, and create an environment for mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the creation of new mitochondria. So these guys have gone one step further. They've looked after the DNA, they've looked after visual appearance, and they're also restoring mitochondrial health as well. A complete anti-aging solution. There's no artificial colors, flavors or sweeteners in here. In fact, the anti-caking agent they use is silica. It's great for hair, skin and nails. The flavoring system is an all-natural berry extract, high in antioxidants as well. And I must say the taste is also very, very nice and very pleasant. The way that I use this is I take 1 to 2 scoops in the morning in one dose, if I do have the 2 scoops, in a little bit of water, and I'll hold it in my mouth, mix it up, hold it in my mouth for a minute or two, and then swallow it down. It absorbs very well under the tongue, which is why I leave it in the mouth. Entirely up to you. A lot of people drink it. The response that our customers are giving us from this is unbelievable. The amount of customers that walked into Fat Burners Only just yesterday and bought this product blew my mind. So people are hearing about it, they're loving it. If you didn't know how all that worked, have a Google of NMN and Dr. David Sinclair. But this guy here is the best product at Fat Burners Only, and I'm happy to say that it's my favorite product and use it every day. Cheers, burners.